Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. We start by mentioning Allah, praising Him, thanking Him, asking Him to bless and honor our beloved Prophet and Messenger. In our 19th session, we are looking at the remainder of Surah 25, Surah Al-Furqan, the entirety of Surah Al-Shu'ara, Surah number 26, and the beginning of Surah An-Naml, Surah number 27. The middle of Surah Al-Shu'ara, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ends off the section about Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, may Allah honor and preserve his legacy. He brings up a discussion that the people of hell will have in hell. So this is Surah Ash-Shu'ara, chapter 26, verses 96 through 102. There's a little bit more at the beginning and the end, but I really want to focus on this. Allah, He says that they are saying, قَالُوا وَهُمْ فِيهَا يَخْتَصِمُونَ. They're arguing with one another in the fire of hell. تَاللَّهِ إِن كُنَّا لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Man, we swear to God, we were totally, clearly lost and astray. إِذْ نُسَوِّيكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. When we used to equate you, consider you equal, similar, on par to the Lord and Master of humanity. وَمَا أَضَلَّنَا إِلَّا الْمُجْرِمُونَ. It is really just the criminals that misguided us and deviated us. فَمَا لَنَا مِن شَافِعِينَ. We have nobody to help and intercede for us today. وَلَا صَدِيقٍ حَمِيمٍ. No close friends to back us up. فَلَوْ أَنَّ لَنَا كَرَّةً فَنَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. If only we had another chance, we would be believers. I really want to focus on this one point that they say, إِذْ نُسَوِّيكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. When we used to consider you equal, we compared you to Allah, the Master of humanity. This is one of the most beautiful and simple definitions of shirk, paganism. Allah talks about shirk throughout the Quran and how it is disgusting and vile and is from the greatest acts of evil and oppression, and that if someone dies on shirk, Allah will not forgive it, whereas He will forgive anything and everything else. And shirk developed over time, this paganism of worshipping things other than Allah. One of the scenarios in which it manifested was, as humanity goes, there are pious and righteous people. A group of pious, righteous people died. People would remember them and praise them and honor them, rightfully so. But over time, that praise and that honor maybe got a little bit excessive, and sooner or later, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations, 6 generations, 7 generations later, people would start to now say, these people, aren't just going to intercede for us before Allah, because if they're pious people, we hope that they can. But that let's worship them. Let's ask them directly for things that only Allah can give. But the point of let's worship them, that is where this becomes shirk. That is where this is a line that is extremely red and cannot be crossed. This type of worship and paganism, where in they're equating something or someone to Allah from the perspective of worship. We can also compare things to Allah in terms of status or rank or power or ability. That if I think that for me to earn money is by having a certain kind of degree, and not that wealth and provision is from the hands of Allah, nor that there are material tools that Allah has given us to utilize, but no, if I do not get a college degree, I will not get money, period. Then I have equated a degree with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one that provides whether I have a college degree or not. Or that money is the thing that will give me status and influence and power. That money can change things. Not that money is a tool Allah has given us that if He wants, if we use it appropriately, can be used to bring about good by His decision. But it is money itself that can do this. Or someone with their political campaign. This is the way to real success, and nothing else can bring success. Not that I hope Allah blesses it and allows us to bring about positive change and reform, but that these certain things are the actual means of bringing about some change or some manifesting something real into this world. People will worship and idolize these things. And another way to describe it or put it into perspective is, what are people willing to die for? What are people willing to die for? People are willing to die for celebrities and athletes. People are willing to die for, oppressive regimes. People are willing to die for and sacrifice anything to get fame and power, to be the president, to be the king, to be the whatever. People will put the lives of hundreds, thousands, millions of people on the line for their fame and their success. That drive for that rank, that power is, very questionable and very borderline, equating something to Allah, that really the thing that I should give up my life for is Allah. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. At the end of surah number 6, surah Al-An'am, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that, that my life and my death, my worship and my ritual actions, my prayer, my ritual actions, salati, my worship, my ritual actions, my prayers, nusuki, my ritual actions, my devotions, wa mahyaya wa mamati, and my death and my life, lillahi rabbil alamin, it is all for Allah. I'm not willing to die for anything except Allah, or those things Allah has made it worthy or appropriate to die for, like my own self, like my like someone's life or honor or wealth or property. But I should never find myself being someone who equates something to Allah, thinks anything is as great or equal or powerful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because this mindset is only going to lead to my own destruction, and it's delusion, it's arrogance or ignorance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will not forgive shirk, paganism. If He is equated to in my heart, Allah will not forgive that if I die on it. If I ask for forgiveness, of course He will, if it's sincere. Allah, He says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. Allah will not forgive that He is associated, or He is compared to, He is equated to something if one dies on that, but He will forgive anything else. And Surah Al-Ikhlas, chapter 122, about the oneness of Allah, makes it very point at the end, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. No one, nothing will ever be, has been, can be, is, will ever be comparable to Allah. There's no comparison for Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Ash-Shura, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing is even like the likeness of Allah. And He says in Surah Ar-Rum, وَلَهُ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, that Allah has the most perfect, the most beyond perfect examples that are suitable for Him. If there is a case that Allah wants to make some kind of a taqreeb, a means of drawing an example for us to picture something or get an idea of His greatness, although nothing can really describe to us the greatness and perfection and magnificence that is He. May Allah allow us to be sincere and devout in our worship of Him, and to single Him out for worship and obedience and enslavement and devotion, and no one else, and never compare Him to anything in any which way. Ameen. Wallah, we end by praising You, asking for Your forgiveness, declaring that You are the only one worthy of worship, and we ask You to bless and protect our Prophet and Messenger. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala abdika wa rasulik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.